Yeah, who wants to quilt? Who's ready to make a block today? Hey, Acrophobic Pixie, how are you? All right, let me do this and this. Hi. How is everyone? Hey, how are you? Little Rosin Ninja. Hi. Or Little Rose Ninja. Little Rose Ninja. That's it. Fantastic. Hi. How is everyone today? Who's ready to make a block? Guys, you realize this is block number 11? This is, like, we're almost done with the quilt along. Like, this is block 11. Yeah, you like it? It says, your lack of quilting disturbs me. I mean, seriously. Yeah. Fantastic. So, want to remind everyone, if you are watching live, there is no stream next Monday. It is Labor Day, and I'm going to be at a convention, so we are taking a week off. So, there is no stream at all next week for the quilt along. The block number 12 will be in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And then in 3 weeks, we assemble. And I may be working on a really, really cool stream in November on what to do with those scraps. So, yeah. I'm really, really excited about that. We've got it. Yeah. I'm super excited. Super excited. Okay, so is everyone, any questions before we get started? Any questions on what we're working on, what we're doing, quilting, sewing, or we're just gonna get right into it, right? Look, I remembered my iPad this week. So for those of you on YouTube, I apologize. The sound quality is not the same as previous blocks because my lapel mic isn't working. So I have my traditional standard mic set up. No, I did not print it. I've got my iPad. I just got my iPad. No, November's really not that far away. It's really not. It's really, really not. Yes, I have my pins. Guys, it was funny. I think my lapel mic broke because for once, I think I have everything. Like, I have all of my supplies. I even have my brand new Oliso mini iron. So I've got my brand new Oliso mini iron that I can try out today. I'm going to try the steam function and see how that works. I actually just got it this past Saturday, so I'm very, very excited about that. Very excited. So yeah, so I think because I have everything, I think that's the reason that my mic broke, because I can't have a smooth stream. I know, I tried to be prepared, but that's why I carry my blue mic, so it's a backup, just in case. If I didn't have that, well then I would have been trying to do a mic off of one of these cameras, which that would have been even worse. So, okay. All right, so we are block number 11. This is the hunting duck. So we need apple green. Thank you so much for picking up that pattern. I appreciate you. So we need, here's all of my previous blocks. We're just gonna set those aside. All right, do I need bright blue? Yes, I need bright blue. I'm gonna need black, white. So I still need apple green and coral. All right, I think that's my apple green. Yes, this is my apple green. And then I believe this is coral. Yes. Now, it's important to have a sheet like this that you have all your fabrics on there. If you decide to use the Toscana line from Northcott, I do have those SKUs in here. All you have to do is hand this to your local quilt store and they can find them for you. If you decide to pick out your own fabrics, then you just take the swatches and you tape them on there. So I'd still do that with the Toscanas, so it's easier for me to visually look at them so I know which one I'm looking at. All right, so here's all of my extra fabrics. I don't need this anymore. Set that over there. All right, so I've got the fabrics. Now, let's pick out our previous things. So, if this block is being made as part of the Retro Gaming Revival Quilt, use the following strips from previous blocks. All right, so let's look at Plumber Hero. I don't need that fabric. Let's look at Plumber Hero. Plumber Hero, I need the black 2.5 inch strip, which I've got right there. Anything else from Plumber Hero? Okay, nothing for the top. Let me look down at the bottom. Nope, nothing at the bottom. Okay, so Plumber Hero is done. I can set him aside. I'm gonna set that stack right there. Let's see, next, let's do the Adventurer or the Alien Parasite. Okay, Adventurer. Oh, here's the Alien Parasite. Okay, Alien Parasite. Hey, Minion Mama, is that brand available? No, it is not on Masella. This is, Northcott is only available in your local quilt or sewing store. It is not available in big box stores. High quality, good quilting fabric will not be available in your big box stores. So you do have to go to your local mom and pop in order to pick it up, or you can get it online. There's a lot of fantastic, great online shops that do carry it. I believe that webfabrics.com, which is a quilt store based out of Virginia, has a very large online blender selection. I believe those are available online. So it is, so take a look online. There's also fabric.com that carries a very limited selection of the Toscanas. But yeah, but I would search online to see who actually carries that. So search for Toscana. Okay, so we were looking at the Alien Parasite. We need the apple green. Okay, so we've got the apple green. And Adventure, so is that it for Alien Parasite? That is. That's all I need from Alien Parasite. Now remember last week I messed this up. Yes, it is a Northcott fabric. Yes, it is spelled Northcott, just like that. Impistry, thank you so much for that, host. I appreciate you. Okay, next, Alien Parasite. I need Bubble Sword, Light Mage, and oh, I have the Light Mage right here. Let's do Light Mage. Now this one, you actually are not cutting as much because we have a lot from previous blocks that we're pulling out. Wait until you see how much we're actually not cutting. Okay, so we've got, this is Light Mage. I need the white strip. How many, what do I need? Because remember I messed up my white for the Light Mage. Yep, I messed up my white. And remember, I recut it because I had issues. So I may not be able to use white from Light Mage because I messed that up. Oh, no, I apologize. That's not what I'm taking. I'm taking the half remaining 1.5 inch strip. Hello, I can read. I can read. Really, I can read. I can read. All right, anything else from Light Mage? No, okay, that one's done. Okay, I'm just gonna go in order. Hunting Dog, do I need Hunting Dog for anything? No. This is Puzzle Tetrads. No, I think this is Adventurer. Yes. All right, so Adventurer, I need, that is where I need my white strip. My white 2.5 inch strip. Set that aside. What, Ministry? What, did I pull in the wrong things? Okay, and then Adventurer, the white and bright blue combined. Perfect, so white and bright blue. Let's find the rest of that strip. That combined strip is here somewhere. There, white, oh, there it is. White and bright blue. Okay, it's right here. So I've got that. I am wonderful, Ministry. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, white and bright blue. Next, I think that is it for Adventure. Okay, I can take this and set this aside. Do I need Dark Mage? No. I think all I need is Bulbasaur. I think that's the last thing I need. I don't see coins on there. Here's Bulbasaur. I don't see Mega Android. All right, Bulbasaur. It looks like we're going to use a lot from Bulbasaur. We need the Coral 2.5 inch strip. Okay, which is right here. There's the Coral 2.5 inch strip. Yes, no, that I'm at a quilt store. So those are not my irons. They belong to the quilt store. because this is their studio that they teach classes in. And let's see, we've got the coral. Okay, I need the half remaining apple green, which is this right here. Got that.
Hold on to your batting, folks. This is not a drill. The factory is being raided.
SJS Glassworks, thank you so much for bringing your friends by. I don't want to lose my place, so I'm going to finish pulling this out, and then I'll greet you guys. Okay, so we've got the half remaining green, half remaining white. I've got my white, I've got my coral, I've got my black, and I've got my apple green. Okay, it's everything for the top. Now for the bottom, apple green, white combined. Let me find my apple green, white. Here we go, right here, combined. Okay, I need my apple green coral combined. Apple green coral is right here. And then I need my coral and white. Coral and white combined. There's not much left in this block. There we go, and I've got all that. Oh wait, and then we pulled up previous blocks. Fantastic. Hi guys, how are you? For those of you watching on YouTube, if you're wondering what is going on, we just got raided by SJS Glassworks. So, how was your stream? What did you do? Fantastic. Oh, you gotta go to dinner. Enjoy dinner. Thanks for bringing your friends in. For those of you that just came in on the raid, if you haven't seen me before yet, I am Tony. I am a professional pixel quilter specializing in video game and comic book quilts. I do this for a living. I travel around to quilt stores, guilds, conventions, lecturing, teaching, and selling my wares. I have my own line of quilt patterns you can find in stores around the world. And in my stream, you get quilting, sewing, giveaways, free things, and animals. Although today is a special stream to where you're not going to get all those things. You're just going to get the quilting and sewing. Because we are working on our quilt-along quilt. So this is block number 11, which is the hunting duck right there. And we're going to be making this block completely from start to finish. So we just went through all of the pre-work, pulling some things out, making sure we have all the things from our previous blocks. So you can see on the camera right here, I've got everything pulled out. So I have that. You know what? I'm going to put this back here because I don't need that one. And now we're going to move on to the next part. So we've got that. Exactly. I know, right, Acrophobic Pixie? So I do want to point that out. For those of you that are reading chat, it's right there. Acrophobic Pixie just pointed out that the Northcott site is amazing, and I agree. Northcott is a fantastic company that is just absolutely amazing. I am in love with freaking Northcott. So their Toscana line is gorgeous. Not only is it soft and just amazing, and I love working with it, but it's bright and vibrant and just amazing. But you can go onto their site and you can find which local quilt store or sewing store near you carries their fabric. Like, how freaking cool is that? So yeah, so that's a good idea. So go take a look at the Northcott site and they'll tell you that. While you're there, make sure you follow their social medias. Their Instagram is really cool. Like, I love their Instagram. They not only talk about their fabrics and their designers, but they also promote you. If you create something and send it to Northcott, they'll put it on their Instagram. Like, it's really, really cool. So follow their social media too. I really like Northcott. Okay, all right, back to what we're doing. Now, let's do this. All right, so we're going to keep all this up. We're going to go ahead and cut some fabric. So, apple green. Do I have to cut any apple green? All right. Let's see. I don't need to cut the 2.5, and I don't need to cut one of the 1.5s. Oh, it looks like I only need 1.5, or yes, 1.5 apple green. So, and do not cut additional 1.5 inch strips of. So do I still need, let's make sure that I didn't make a mistake again, because last week I made a mistake with this. Okay, apple green to white, apple green to coral, okay, apple green to bright blue. No, this is a mistake. Okay, so where it says And do not cut additional 1.5 strips of 1 apple green. We've pulled one previously. Nikki, can you shoot me a message that I need to update this for the overall pattern that's going to include all the blocks in there? I need to fix this and do not cut 1.5 additional strips of apple green. Don't cut them both. Okay, so we're not cutting. We don't need to. Well, no, according to reading, it only says do not cut 1 apple green. And it says 2 on here. So I need to fix this. So we've got that, so I don't need apple green. Okay, white. I've got, I think, the same thing with white as well. It says that up in the other part 2 from first section. Oh, never mind, you're right. You're right. So don't cut 1 and don't cut 1. You're absolutely right. Nope. I apologize. I did not read it all the way through. I wonder if that was the one from last week and I didn't read that all the way through either. Yep. Yep. Thanks, Nikki. I appreciate you. So I don't have to cut any white either because the white, we already have our 2.5 inch strip and we don't need to cut 1 below and 1 above. I do not cut 1 of the 1.5 inch strips. Yep, nope, I'm good. I am good. Fantastic. Okay. Next is bright blue. Bright blue. Oh, there's another white. We are good. Bright blue. All right, I don't. Oh, hey. It looks like I have to cut everything. Yep, looks like I have to cut everything. Where'd my music go? Oh, it's just super quiet. It's just this song super quiet. I know, right? I know, Nikki is always right. I have learned that the hard way. All right, so for the blue, you know what? I'm going to skip blue for now. Let's go ahead and see if we have to cut any blacks or corals. So black. Yes. I still have to cut 2 1.5 inch strips of black. And then coral, I still have to cut 1 1.5 inch strip of coral. Okay, all right, so let's start with this. So with the blue, let's go ahead and re-iron this. Just to make sure we get the crimp right there out. Now, it doesn't make a difference about the cut right there, but we do want to get this one out. All right, let's see if we can use some steam on here. I have water in here. I haven't figured out how to get to use the steam, though. It looks like you're supposed to push the buttons and the steam comes out. But nothing's coming. I still have water in there, right? Yep, I've got water in there. And you know how much I like to use the water on this. Oops, I was not looking and I ironed a fold in here. All right, so I may have to look up some videos to see about that steam, to see how to get it to work. Because I can't seem to get that to work right now. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. Is the fabric setting right? It doesn't say anything on the top for steam. It just has a 1, 2, or 3 dial. And then the steam is little things on the right and the left. I may have to hold them. I mean, I literally just got that iron on Saturday, so I haven't had a chance to play with it too much yet. So I figured, you know what? This is a good chance to play with it and test it out. Okay. Oops. All right, so blue. I don't have any of them ahead of time. So I'm supposed to cut all of them. So for the blue, I'm cutting 3 and 3. And I believe this is the last block that we need glue for. So 1, 2, 3, and then now 1.5. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Okay, there's my scraps. There's my 1.5s, and I don't need this anymore. All right, so for the black, oops. Oh my gosh. All right, for the black, I don't need my 2.5. And I haven't pulled anything for the 1.5, so I still need 2 1.5s. There we go. And then for the coral, I said I needed just 1.5, right? Because I don't need the 2.5, and it says don't cut one of the 1.5s. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. All right, we've got all that cut. Now, let's skip down to page number 2. So we're cutting all the 1.5 inch strips in half except for one of the blacks and one of the bright blues. Okay? So the rest of these all need to be cut in half. So let me get my scissors. Now, whenever we cut them in half, we want to cut them this way. I always get people messaging me asking, which way are we cutting them in half? And all I could think of is, well, if I wanted you to make the strips smaller, I wouldn't have you do it with scissors, and I would have that instructions, like the width of it, right? You've already done that. So now it's just a matter of cutting it lengthwise in half. There we go. And there. All right, so these are all cut in half. So let's set that there. Now let's cut our pieces. All right, so apple green first. Apple green, I need 1 and 1, but remember I like to cut them in groups of 2 for efficiency. So 2 and 2. And then I'm just going to take away 1 of each and set that aside. There we go. That's up there. Next is whites. Whites, I need 2 and 3. Well, I already have a single little 1.5 piece left over from earlier, so I'm going to set that aside. I do want to iron out this cake, so let's see if we can play with this iron. Let's see if we can play with the iron in order to get this steam working. Well, I ironed it out almost immediately, so. Yeah, I can't tell if there's steam coming out or not. It's not like with the large irons, where steam is really coming out, and you know it's coming out. Thank you so much, Celeste. I appreciate that. Maren, thank you so much for the host. I appreciate you. Okay, so let's go white. We need 2 and 3. I already have my 1, so I'm just going to cut 2 and 2. So let's do this. Fantastic. We've got those. All right, so 2 and a 1.5. Go. That's scrap. I'm going to make my stack of my extras there. Okay, next is blue. Oh, lots of blue. Wrong scene. Oh, thank you. I keep forgetting I put the QA. I did different ones. I know, right? It may be, you know what? It may be a sneaky steamer. I didn't even think about that. You're absolutely right. It may just be a sneaky steamer. Yeah, no, I actually made 2 different sets. That way, whenever I am streaming normally and not streaming the quilt along, that I don't have to worry about changing a bunch of extra things. Well, the steamer will really come into play whenever we want to iron our things open or to a different side. Don't forget your other white piece. Oh, thank you. Yes, I should put that in my stack, shouldn't I? Okay, so let's see how... I can't tell. I mean, it's ironing like it's steaming, but I don't hear anything, because normally you hear stuff with steam, right? I can't tell if it's using steam or not. Okay, so I've got them layered. Let's see, we need 7, 13, and 19. You know what? I'm gonna super cheat. Let's cut 3 strips at a time. Let's be rebels. And instead of cutting just 2 strips, let's cut 3 strips. So, let's be rebels. We are cutting 3 strips at a time. So, how you cut strips all at the same time. Make sure they're lined up nice and even. And let's cut. So, because I have 3 strips here and they're folded in half, I am cutting them by 6s. 6s. So there are 6 at a time. For the baby iron, I know, we really do. We could say this is Megatron or Bumblebee. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so we've got, there we go. So we're cutting it by 6s. So I need 7 of these, so I'm just gonna make 1 cut. I need 13 twos, so I'm gonna make 2 cuts. 1, 2.5, 2.5. Okay, and then I need 19. So if I'm cutting them by 6s, that would be 6, 12, 18. Okay, that's trash. And then you can tell if it's steaming by the job it's doing. Ooh, see, and Minion Mama, this is my first true travel iron. So I guess that's a good point. So if it does the job, then you know it's steaming. That's I mean, that makes sense. Okay, so 4.5. And then 2.5, 1, 2.5. Okay, so it's 6, 7, 12, 13. This is 18. And 19. I just need 1. I just need 1. Yeah, so it must be a sneaky steamer. Oh, infantry, really? That's funny. Alright, so let's set these aside. Now let's do black next. I need 2 and 2, 2 and 3. Alright, there's a really big bend in that one. Let's see if the sneaky steamer. Oh, there's 2 steam settings? Well, I am holding the buttons. Maybe if I just hold one button? I mean, it got it all out. I mean, that's perfectly ironed. I mean, there's two buttons. So you get a button here and a button here and a button here. Thanks for looking that up. Oh, baby iron! Yee, Nikki, I love it. Saucy, thank you so much for the host. Oh my gosh, I love it. It is so cute. I love it. So it would be baby iron is the command instead of iron. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so I said, let's trim this up. I said I need 2 and 2 and 3. So I don't need one of these.
Thank you for subscribing to Quiltoni. Grab your needles.
Who's that? Saucy, thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime on me.
Factory.
I super appreciate
2
that.
2 months woot.
2 months woot. Thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime. You can use your Prime anywhere, but you decided to use it on me, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. For those of you who have no clue what that is, if you have a Twitch Prime, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can link it to Twitch and sub to one person each month for free. You have to actually trigger it every single month in order to use that sub, but you can use it anywhere you want, and you chose to use yours on me. So thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Little Rose Ninja, thank you so much for that host. I appreciate it. Okay, now for the coral. Coral, I need 3 and 1. Well, you know what? I already have my 1.
Subscribing to Quiltoni.
Who's that? Azalea!
Sweatshop. I mean, factory.
Been a while.
It has been a while. Thank you so much. Again, for using your Twitch Prime on me, Azalea. I super appreciate it. For those of you that don't know who Azalea is, she is an amazing, awesome person, and she is also the editor of my book, Designing Block Quilts. How to design your own pixelated patterns. So she is the editor and did so much for that book. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Speaking of my book, the Designing Block Quilts book is coming to PDF format next month. The week after our quilt-along is finished, you'll be able to get my book as an ebook on Amazon. I am also signing it up, so it's going to be part of the Kindle Unlimited, so you will be able to borrow my book just like you do with everything else with Kindle Unlimited. So, yes, it is fantastic. Thank you very much, Nikki. I appreciate that. And, of course, you can always get a physical copy at your local quilt or sewing store, online, or for me at a convention. Okay, all right, so we have all of our solids are done. So now, let's combine some of these strips. So, apple green to white. Apple green to white, we have. Apple green to coral, we have. White to black. Ooh, we don't have a white to black. So, half white to half black. So, half white, right there. Fantastic, Doug. Hopefully she picked up my book. It has the same exact stuff in there. I appreciate that. Did I forget to cut one of these blacks in half? I think I did. Nope, here's my half. Here's my half. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. Because designing pixelated quilts is basically the same as designing cross stitch. That's how I got my start. Okay, then bright blue to coral. Okay, we don't have that, so it's a half and a half. So half bright blue to half coral, bright blue to coral. And if you're watching me live, either at a quilt store or here on Twitch, remember I am not doing this next week. This is the second time in the stream I've said this. There's no quilt along next week. If you have to get your fill of Tony, I will be streaming live from DragonCon. Although please remember, it is in a public place. I cannot control the people around me. It may not be PG. Please do not put it on in a public place. Okay, bright blue to coral. I got apple green to bright blue. Okay, we do not have an apple. Oh, nope. We do not have apple green to bright blue. Okay, so let's go here. Apple green to bright blue is a half and half.
This is not a drill.
Alley Cats, apple green to bright blue. Alley Cat Fibers, thank you so much for bringing your friends in on the raid. I super appreciate you. For those of you, again, this is our second raid. If you're watching on YouTube, Alley Cat decided to take her community and bring them in and introduce them to me. So thank you. I super appreciate it. So please give Alley Cat a follow. You guys know her, you love her, she's amazing. She does all sorts of things with yarn and fiber, and it's just incredible. So please, please, please go follow Alley Cat Fibers. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, if you would like to follow her, you can see it spelled right here. It is Alley Cat Fiber Arts. So just go twitch.tv/Alley Cat Fiber Arts. Okay, for those of you that came in on the raid, hi. We're doing our quilt along again because it's Monday. This is block number 11. We're almost done. So I was just talking how there's no stream next week. I will be at DragonCon. We'll be streaming live, playing cosplay bingo. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but no stream next week for the quilt along. So 2 weeks will be block number 12. Okay, so we've got apple green to bright blue, okay? And then white to bright blue. I've got white to bright blue right here. And then bright blue to black. Okay, this is the big strip. So this is my black and my bright blue. Fantastic. And then white to coral. I have white to coral. Okay, so we've got those. So you should have, I have an extra blue strip. Did I cut too many? 1, 2. Oh, I found a mistake. I wasn't supposed at the very top. And do not cut 1.5 inch strips of bright blue should be there as well. Nikki, can you shoot me a message, please, saying do not cut that additional bright blue? That is a mistake on my part. So we only cut 2 1.5 inch strips, not 3. Okay. All right, let's go back through here. And these are my extras. I'm going to set them right here out of the way. And let's sew these together. Let's move these right here, just so I have them. Oh, no wonder. I was like, I feel weird. Why is my machine all the way over there? Because I forgot to make room for my pieces. There we go. Now I've got my pieces. Thanks, Nikki. I appreciate it. Okay, let's do this and this. Fantastic. Now remember, we are only talking about quilting and sewing here, so if you would like more information about the DragonCon cosplay bingo streams, please check out the Discord and ask all of your questions there. The bingo boards and everything are there as well. Okay, let's do this. For those of you, if you're new to my stream, we are doing our quilt along, meaning this video is going to go up on YouTube tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Wednesday. It's going to go up on YouTube Wednesday. So if you miss anything, you can go back and rewatch it. If you have any questions, anything at all. So, and this is an educational tutorial stream. So if you have any questions at all with what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, please don't be afraid to ask. There we go. Why is it? It's bouncing more than normal. There we go. I just have to hold it down. That's the only problem with the cheap travel machines. You see how it's bouncing all over the place? It's really gotten on in there, isn't it? I only have 4 that I'm combining. So what I'm doing whenever I'm combining these strips, I am right side to right side. So I'm taking right side to right side and I'm putting those together. Because whenever you sew something, you always want to sew right side to right side. It is the easiest way. And then that way you don't see your seams. It is Rain. It is. How are you today, Rain? I like that. It's bouncing around more than a Minecraft slime. It's a bouncer. So, if you have an inexpensive machine that does this, there's a couple of reasons for it. Number one is the surface that you are sewing on. I am sewing on a collapsible table. So it's not a very stable surface. The table itself is causing some of the bounce. I am also using a very cheap machine. It's very lightweight, and because it's lightweight, it doesn't have a lot of bulk to it. So a lot of the bigger, expensive machines have more bulk to them and more weight, and so they're not going to bounce around as much. As long as you have it under control, though, it should be fine. Tigger? Oh, because it bounces. Oh, I love that. Alright, so we now have a name for this machine. I should get some Tigger stickers for it. Oh, I almost forgot. Speaking of my new Aliso mini iron, if you would like to play with it in person, I'm going to have it at DragonCon. So I will be bringing my new Aliso mini iron with me and have it available to use. So if you would like to use my mini iron, you can. When she's home and makes... Yes, Allie, yes, I know, right? Okay, alright, so that's all my strips. So where is my scrap fabric? Did I take it off? I did. Oh, it's hiding underneath. Of course it is. Of course. Because why not? Alright, let's grab my scissors. Fantastic, Rain. That would be awesome. Alright, so now we're going to separate our strips, and then we're going to take all of our strips and we're going to cut them in half again lengthwise. Okay, doesn't make a difference if it's a half strip or if it's a whole strip. You're folding it in half and cutting it in half lengthwise. Just like that. So fold it in half. Beautiful. And let's do that. There we go. All right. Now, let's cut some pieces. All right, so black and blue. So I'm going to move all of these up here. And let's see. This is the test. This is the test to see how this iron is. Okay. Let's lock our seams in. Okay, and then, ooh, I like that point on there. Okay, it's not, it's not doing it. Continue!
The factory is being raided.
Continue, how are you? Alright, so it looks like the mini travel iron is having some issues. So I'm going to have to figure that out in a second. But hi guys, hi Continue, how are you guys? Our sons will wipe the floor. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Hi guys, hi. Guys, if you don't know who Continue is, she's a fantastic, awesome, wonderful video game streamer. For anyone that's watching the quilt along on YouTube, if you like video games, you want to follow her. She's amazing. She's funny. She's just. I lurk quite often in her channel. I don't talk at all, but I lurk quite often. She is amazing. Please go follow her. She's very entertaining. She is funny, and you must follow her Twitter, because not only is she super honest and positive and talks about her journey that she's taking right now, but she gives you stupid jokes every day. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot to update my social media today. Dang it, I forgot my social media. Okay, well anyways, so please go follow her. She's amazing, she's awesome. You have to go follow her. Seriously. Yes, we're making a duck. We're making a hunting duck today. Start to finish on stream. So for those of... No, they're stupid jokes. I don't like dad jokes. They're stupid jokes. They really are. For those of you that just came in on the raid, hi, I'm Tony. I am a professional pixel quilter.
Your taste must be exquisite.
I do this for a living. I travel around to quilt stores, which is where I am right now, at a quilt store, because I'm on the road, because I'll be at Dragon Con next weekend. I will travel to quilt stores, quilt guilds and conventions, lecturing, selling my wares, and teaching. I have my own line of quilt patterns you can find in stores around the world. And in my stream, you normally get quilting, sewing, giveaways, free things, and animals. But today is a very special stream. Every single Monday, except for next week, from like a few months ago until the end of September, until TwitchCon, we're doing Quilt Along. So we are doing one block every single Monday until it's finished. So this is block number 11. It is the hunting duck. It is, of course, inspired by Duck Hunt. It is one of my favorites, and I love it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It says your lack of quilting disturbs me. So yes. Okay, now I have to go in here and look at actually the thing. Necro, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, AJ. I really appreciate that. Oh, you know what? I just realized that I couldn't read some of this stuff. Okay, so an octopus try. Really, Rain? Really, Rain? Come on. So like I said, we are doing this, and I am going to be editing the video and then putting it up on YouTube. So all this will be on YouTube as well. So again, if you're watching on YouTube, this is our third raid. You must go follow this person. Twitch.tv/continue. It is, you can see it right here, how it's spelled. It is KINTINUE. Make sure you go follow her. She's amazing and inspiring. So seriously. Lego, thank you so much for that host. I appreciate that. I'm going to see Lego tonight because I'm on my way to Dragon Con. I cannot wait. Really quickly, before I get back to the Quilt Along, if you are new to my channel, Necro, thank you so much for gifting that to continue. Thank you so much for gifting that sub. I appreciate you. So you now have my Dancing Marley, because my dog dances when we do giveaways. The words are hard, the quilt, and of course my squirrel, because I squirrel. This is what I do. Thank you. Thank you. I know, right? Oh wait, who has the other words are hard? Seriously. Yeah. Anyway, so, oh yes, Dragon Con. I will be streaming live from the floor of Dragon Con Friday, Saturday, Sunday, from 1 to 5 o'clock Eastern Time, where we are going to be playing Cosplay Bingo. Nikki, can you pop the Cosplay Bingo sheets into chat from Discord? So we are going to be playing as a group, as a stream. If you get bingo at any point, everyone in chat at that point gets 5 pixels. If we get a full card, everyone in chat at that point gets 10 pixels. It is going to be amazing, and we always have a lot of fun looking at all the cosplays of Dragon Con. So it is one of my favorite streams, and I cannot wait. So if you want to know what a pixel is, it is our stream currency. As Dryad T says, it is a currency of the realm. That is how you get me to make you some things. So if you want me to make you quilts, dice bags, all sorts of things, that's how you get them. And Continue actually just got a whole bunch of pixels by bringing in the raid. So thank you again. I appreciate it. Okay, let's go back to ironing and doing this. So this is my brand new mini iron. It is from Aliso. It's not even in stores yet. So I actually got one of the very first ones. Okay, now we're doing a whole bunch of, hi Lego! Oh yes, and of course, oh that's right, in Continue stream, you guys know Legolish, because Legolish is one of the ones that introduced me to Continue. So I'm actually going to Lego's house tonight to spend the night, and then Legolish is coming with me to Dragon Con Tuesday morning as one of my minions. So he will be helping me at Dragon Con. There we go. Perfect. Okay, it is a sneaky iron because I'm holding the steam. I can't hear the steam, but it sounds like it's working. There we go. Okay, so we've ironed this one towards the black, so our seam goes towards the black. Now we're gonna iron this one towards the blue. Yes, he's gonna be my booth babe. I was Necro. I am actually one of the hosts of the Creative Suite. So if you went to the Creative Suite at TwitchCon last year, I was there and you met me because I made sure to introduce myself to every single person that was there, and I made sure that everyone was having fun and was happy. So, but yes, then I met you. Fantastic. Or I heard, yes, or you heard me at least, because I am mom. I am, whoops, wrong one, that one right there we go. I'm the Creative Suite mom, because I am a mom, and I want to make sure that everyone is not only having fun and drinking responsibly, but I want to make sure that we don't get shut down or kicked out. So I was the official shusher. You definitely, oh, yes, I know, Elle. You definitely heard me shush you every single time that door was opened. And I am official shusher this year again. So, yes. We are having the Creative Suite again this year at TwitchCon. Please keep in mind, it is the same size, unfortunately, as last year. We were not able to get a larger room. So that means when we reach capacity, I will be asking people to voluntarily leave, or we will not be accepting new people in. Maybe continue? No. Drinking responsibly at Dragon Con is not hard when you have a Legolish with you to keep an eye on you and feed you water. Everyone needs a Legolish with them to drink responsibly. Okay, so what we're doing right now is I'm cutting my pieces. So what I'm doing is, yes, it is seriously, that is Lego's job, is to make sure that I get back and go to sleep at an appropriate time, and to make sure that I drink responsibly, because I'm also working. I am working Dragon Con. I am there to make monies. Okay, so our black and our blue, we need 2 sets and 4 sets. So 1, 2, there's our 2 sets, so the 2.5. There we go. And then now 4 sets of 1.5. So if you are going to Dragon Con, I am going to be in the vendor floor. My booth number's on my Twitters. Yes, exactly. And he makes everyone go back to the house at a decent time. No, Rain, that's not true, because we have a lot of people that we hang out with that do not drink at all. All he cares about is making sure that you drink responsibly if you do decide to drink. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There is 4 1.5-inch strips. All right, this is extra, so I'm going to take this and just set it aside for right now. Now, what I'm doing is I am 3230. Thank you, Nikki. That's my booth number. If you're at Dragon Con, please make sure you come by booth 3230. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm separating my pieces. That way it's easier for me to grab them when it's time to lay everything out. Because this pile, everything goes towards the black. This pile, everything goes towards the blue. For some reason, my OBS minimized, so I can't see when I'm doing stuff like this if I'm in the actual camera. Hey kittens, how are you today? Alright, so let's lay these out. There's somebody else that's going to be with us at Dragon Con. Alright, next is green and white. I already have that one done from a previous block, so all I'm going to do is take it here, and all I need is 1 set of the 2.5s. In fact, Kittens is part of my cosplay, my group cosplay we are doing. We are doing a Bunny Hutch group cosplay with fast food. So she will, of course, be Burger King, and I will be Wendy. And I believe Legolicious is our official photographer. He's going to go around and photograph everything. All right, apple green and bright blue. Do not, it's this one right here. Okay, so let's iron this. So if you, like I said, we are, oh no, look what I did. I sewed it to the wrong side. Oh man. All right, I have blue. I need to get another green because I don't feel like taking that apart. So I sewed it right side to wrong size. Yes, yes, I have a goof. Thank you for adding that. Yes, I know, right? I know, Kittens, and that's the thing. You're dressing up, so I do not expect you to take pictures at all at the Bunny Hutch. Okay, so where's my green? All right, let's cut another green and re-sew this thing because I did it wrong. Remember, guys, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you do this for a living. Everyone makes mistakes. It is how you handle that mistake and move on that defines you as a person. Okay, let's do this 1.5. Let's see, we've got that. And in this case, I am not undoing it. I'm just starting it over. Yes, and we are just going to have some fun. So Lego's going to take some pictures of us. It'll be a lot of fun. What I am excited about, I think the most, is going to see Lego and Burkana tonight and getting a chance to play with all their kitties. Because Lego and Burkana have 8, 9 cats right now at your house. And like 3 of them are kittens. Yes, I know, Nikki. I had that extra blue for a reason. I know. No, see, I can count. And I am bringing my own sleeping sack that the kittens will probably want to crawl all over me while I'm sleeping, which is perfectly okay. I get to cuddle with kittens. Fantastic. Okay. Remember, do as I say, not as I do. When you're sewing things together, do right side to right sides. We knew something was going to happen, right? Like, I can't have things go this smoothly all the time. Something had to happen. Nikki, will you do me a favor? Will you find Continue's Twitter page and link it for everyone to follow, please? Because I know I said go follow her Twitters, but let's actually make it easy for people to go and follow her Twitters. Yes, and for those of you that did not know, Kittens. Fierce Kittens just got a new kitten. Oh my gosh, she's adorable. She is, like, does she have any Siamese in her? Because I forgot to ask you that before. Thank you very much, Nikki. I appreciate that. All right, let's lock our seam. So we always want to lock our seam first. And then iron it open. Come on. I think this edge is a little too sharp. I'm having issues. As you can see, it's catching on the seam and I'm trying to iron it. For those of you wondering what this is the brand new Oliso travel iron. I got one of the very first ones. They are not yet available to the public. You can order them, but they are not shipped yet. There we go. And I'm learning all about it. I am learning all about it. Turkish van. Oh, okay. There we go. And then here. Oh, I think I figured it out. I think I figured out how to iron with my seams. Go from the edge and not from the front. There we go. Beautiful. All right. There we go. All right, now let's get back to cutting these. All right, so I only need one set. Now this one popped up a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about that yet because I'm not going to cut that far because I just need one set of 1.5s. There we go. Perfect. Next, we've got blue, green, now coral and green, which I already have. So I need one set of 1.5. So I don't need that one because I just need a full set. There we go. Next, I need white and bright blue. I need one set of 2.5 and 3 sets of 1.5. I think I've got enough. One set of 2.5. I should have enough. And 3 sets of 1.5. 1, 2. I do not. Okay, figuring out my own directions. Figuring out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I definitely need 6. I know why. I remember now. Okay, so I need one more set, right? Look, what do I have here? So, here's 1. And then I'm going to cut this one down to 1.5. Just like that. And now I have my 3 sets. Yep, exactly. Exactly, Nikki. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so now let's split them up into which way the seams point. So that's towards the blue, towards the white, towards the blue, towards the white. Perfect. All right. Next page. Guys, we're on page number 3. We're on page 3. Rosalind, thank you so much for that host. I super appreciate that. Star Killer, you've got to make it first. You've got to make your blocks before you can hunt them. How are you today, Rosalind? Okay. Next up is black and white. So we're going to take this one. Let's use our mini iron. Remember, we want to lock our seams first. So let's lock this baby in here. Oh, I keep forgetting to hold down the button for steam. The moment that I hold the button for steam, it gets easier. So it's a sneaky steam. Yes. Oh yeah, did you look it up, Festifer? It is a powerful little thing, and it is great. And it comes with this plate, with this sole plate. So you can just rest it on almost anything. If you are going to Dragon Con, I will have this iron with me, and you can use it and play with it if you would like. I am not selling them. I am only an ambassador. And remember, if you purchase one and use the discount Quiltoni for 25% off, I do not make any money. I am not an affiliate. I am an ambassador. That means I make 0 monies. 0 monies. I know, right? Oh, Rain. Okay, so I need 1 set of 2.5. Fantastic. And 5 sets of 1.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Throw that away. Throw that away. Let's open these up into separate piles for easy to pull whenever I am pulling everything. All right, next is bright blue coral. This one right here. Let's iron this. 0 manas, 0 manas. Now remember, you can use that code on the mini iron as well as the large irons. The mini irons are available to order, but they are not shipping yet. I actually got one of the very first irons. For those of you that know where I am at Tomorrow's Treasures Quilt Shop in Maryland right now on my way to Dragon Con. And I actually went down to Tomorrow's Treasures after I had the stream set up and asked if they wanted to see this iron. And they said, oh, we have a whole bunch on order. I can't wait until we get them. So the quilt shops have not gotten the irons yet. So if you go to your local quilt shop, they may or may not have the iron. Hey, Liza! I am on my way to Dragon Con. We are going to have so much fun. It is going to be amazing this weekend. This is one of my favorite conventions to see friends and hang out. I'm gonna see your face soon. Oh, I can't wait. We're gonna have so much fun. So much fun. All right, so let's layer this. Now, what I'm doing right here is called nesting the seams, okay? So what I'm doing is I have the bottom, see how it's going towards the coral? And the top is going towards that light blue. So if I were to put a pin in that and sew that right now, I would get a perfect seam. So see how that's lined up perfectly? That is what's called nesting the seams. All right, let's do blue and coral. Perfect. Let's do this. We need 1 set of 2.5. Now, for those of you going to TwitchCon, I will also have a booth in Artist Alley at TwitchCon. So I am sharing a booth with the famous, amazing Casey Renee, who won the cosplay contest at TwitchCon last year. We're sharing a booth together where you can get all sorts of art wares, including my new products, the bling. The bling. All right, so this is extra. Last but not least, we need our white and our coral, which is already ironed, and I need 1 set of 1.5. And for anyone that hasn't actually met me in person yet, please don't be shocked when you meet me in person, because this is how I am in person.
Congratulations,
this is me.
Just followed Quiltoni. Your taste must be exquisite.
Who is that one? That was My Story. Thank you so much for that follow. Thanks, My Story. I super appreciate you. Thank you very much. Okay, white and fantastic. All right, we've got the 1 set of 2. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. That is extra, that is extra. I'm gonna take these and set these aside back here with the rest. Great. All right, now I'm done with these. Done with them. Because we have all of our pieces cut out already. We've only been streaming. What time is it? What time is it? It is 2:15. Guys, we've only been streaming 1 hour and 15 minutes, and we already have all of our pieces cut out. We're getting ready to lay this out. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. First thing I'm gonna do is lay all of my pieces right here in a way that I can grab them easily in order to bring them over to my mats. So let's move everything and make this easy to grab. Perfect, perfect. I've got those. Oh, there we go. I was like, I know I had something over there. And then white. Now, it is important that you lay it out like this and you separate everything out because you need to grab things that have seams pointed in different directions. So it's easier to see exactly what you need when they're all spread out. Thank you very much for answering that, Nikki. I appreciate that. Yes, I am on location because I am in the States right now. I am not at my hometown in London, Ontario. I am in Maryland at Tomorrow's Treasures in Crofton, Maryland, which is an amazing, awesome, fantastic quilt store that has allowed me to use their space for streaming the quilt along while I was here. All right, we've got that. So if you are ever in the Maryland area, please make sure you swing by Tomorrow's Treasures. Check out their store. Please buy stuff from them. Please support them because they're amazing. All right. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna put this right here so I can see everything. All right. Pins, we got my pins. I've got everything together. Let's move on to step number 4. All right, I'm gonna cheat. I am going to skip ahead. Exactly, Nikki. Always support small business when you can. I'm gonna skip ahead to number 5. Because number 5 is telling us that we have 2 horizontal pieces to assemble. I'm going to do that first. So let's do number 5 first. So I need a single coral piece and a yellow and blue. Okay, let's go up to row number 2. I need it to go to the left. So I need a blue, I said yellow, didn't I? Blue and white. Blue and white piece towards the white. Towards the white. Do you have a sewing machine? If you have a sewing machine, you have a quilt machine. That's a $100 one. All right, so towards the white. We've got blue and white towards the white. Fantastic. And then I'm going to pin this. Now remember, those arrows on the quilt pattern tell you which way those seams need to point. That is super, super important because we are nesting those seams. Nesting the seams is important so you get those perfect points every single time. All right, so there's one. Next, we need a blue, 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 blue. We got a blue. And then we need coral and white. And this is row number 8. So it goes to the left again. So I need to go towards the white again with my seam. All right, and then let's pin this. There we are. Let's pin all this in place. All right, now let's sew it. Now, what I'm going to be doing, especially during the next step, is what's called chain quilting. Chain quilting is an efficient way to sew your pieces in a much faster pace. It saves on thread and it locks your seams so you don't have to go back and forth and lock those seams separately. The trick is to have something constantly in your machine. And this little gadget right here is called the cutting gizmo. It's a way to separate those chained pieces in an easy way. Thank you very much, Nikki. I appreciate that. All right, let's go over here and let's iron this. Now, for those of you that are new to my stream, I only have 2 cameras today. When I am home at my studio, I do have 5 cameras that you can see exactly what I'm doing at all times. So you can see my cutting mats, you can see my ironing board, you can see a close-up of my machine so I can show you step by step those stitches, and of course, a camera on my animals. Because, I mean, I know you guys want to see my animals, that's just part of life. Why would you not want to see the animals? Okay, so I've got these 2 pieces now. So now let's go back to step number 4 and let's lay these out row by row. I'm gonna start with the bottom. I'm gonna start with row number 9 and work my way backwards. All right, so I'm gonna start right here on row number 9. So row 9, I need one of these, and then I need one of these. Now, whenever I'm lining these up, oh wait, nope, I don't need one of those. I was looking at the wrong thing. Anyway, these. Whenever I'm lining this up, I'm gonna group them in groups of 2. So when I put them in groups of 2, that's because I know that these 2 need to be pinned together. And it's just easier for me to remember that. So I'm going to put those there. Okay, and then I need one of these. And then I need one of these. And then I need one of these. Now, make sure you know which way this is going. I almost just put it like this. And if I would have put it like that, oh, hey, look. Oh, look what I just did. That's supposed to go like this. Hey, I just reversed it. I almost sewed that upside down. I do that all the time. Trust me. I mess my own patterns up all the time. All right, now we have a lonely little piece right here. This is perfectly okay to have a single piece all by itself, because it's okay to want to be by yourself sometimes, especially if you've been to a convention like Gen Con or Dragon Con. You people out, you don't want to be around the other pieces, you want to be by yourself. That's perfectly okay. Yes, it was a wannabe goof ministry. So this piece right here is fine, but then the next round you want to make sure you include it in, because it's okay to be by yourself, but then you want to make sure to actively include it, and it's actually good in the long run for your stripping and for your quilting. All right, so in this case our seams are going to the right, so we have a right arrow. So that means with these 2 pieces, if it's a right arrow, I'm picking up the right piece, flipping it over the left piece, and then I'm going to pin it into place. Always pin your seams first, and then pin the outside. So center seam first, and then the outside. So in this case, we're just taking the right over the left, because our seams go to the right, and pin that into place. Right over left, and pin it into place. And like I said, it's okay to have this lonely little piece by itself, because sometimes we just need to be alone. And we're going to take this and put that there, and now I'm going to move this down to the very bottom of my board, so you've got it. All right, row number 8. Row 8. I made sure that I put that one up farther so you could see what I was doing for that first row. There. All right. Now, in this case, I need to be careful to make sure that I do this correctly. And these both go the same direction with the seam, so that they're opposite, so that I can, when I put them together, I'm going to get that perfect point every single time. All right, so this goes down towards the blue, so this next one needs to go up towards the white. Okay, and I need to go down towards the blue with one of my horizontal combined. Oh, and I've already sewn it down towards the blue. Fantastic. Now, in this case, if this was not ironed correctly, if this was ironed the opposite direction, well, all you have to do is re-iron it. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. And then I'm going to go up towards the blue with a blue and coral. And I've got a solid. I don't have to worry about seams. And then I've got a solid. Fantastic. And there's no pieces that want to be alone this time. So they're all very social pieces. They're perfectly fine. All right, in this case, my arrow is going to the left. If my arrow is going to the left, I'm going to take that left piece, flip it over the right piece, and pin it into place. All right, ready for some nightmares, Nikki? Nikki is my mod for all of these quilt-along streams. And she has nightmares of me right over left, left over right, and pin it into place. All right. So here is left over right, and pin it into place. And left over right, and pin it into place. and left over right, and pin it into place. Okay, row number 7. Now, I have mine here on my iPad. So all I can do, and I move it around, so all I can see is the row that I'm working on. I know, right, Nikki? I don't know what you're going to do either. Okay, so row number 7. Now, I'm going to give you plenty of time to think about this, okay? Row number 7, my seams go to the right, because remember they go opposite. So if my seams go to the right, which piece am I picking up to flip over the other piece? Think about it long and hard. Seams go to the right. Let's see, we've got that, and then we've got that one. So, yes, Rosalind, thank you very much. If our seams go to the right, we are picking up the right piece and flipping it over the left. Let's see, you've got that, and then there is this one, and then there is this one. So, seams go to the right. I'm going to take this right piece, flip it over the left, and pin it into place. Always make sure if there is a seam, you pin that seam first. First. There you go. So right over left, and pin it into place. And we're going to be doing the same exact thing for all 9 rows. Once we get all 9 rows done, we are going to take a small be right back break where I will give you bloopers, and at that point we are going to give everyone a chance to stand and stretch, because if you're new to my stream, I forgot to tell you that you are live to the internets right now, not only on Twitch, but in quilt stores. I have quilt stores that are participating in this quilt along, and some of them are teaching classes right now, and we are teaching these classes. Others are going to be using those YouTube videos to teach those classes later in the week. So say hi to the world, not just on Twitch, but hi to the local students. So we want to make sure that they have a chance to catch up, and they have a chance to stretch and use the restroom. You know, I'm sitting here bending over thinking, why am I bending over? After I lay all the pieces out, I should totally sit down and do this. And then I'm not going to be hunched and bent over. And you can't even see that, because I have the camera 2 on, right? Okay, row number 6. Row number 6. You've got that one, and that one, and one of these. Now, if you've ever made one of my quilts, any one of my quilt patterns, you may notice that it looks like almost nothing right at this point. So it's really hard. Let's see, that goes towards the black, so that needs to go towards the blue. It's hard to figure out what the picture looks like right now. So up towards the black. There we go, and then a black one. And then a black and white. So you actually won't be able to truly see the picture until you start to sew those rows together. All right, this one goes to the left. So you're gonna pick up that left piece, flip it over the right, and pin it into place. So left over right, pin it into place. Left over right, pin it into place. There's a reason why I say these things over and over and over, because I want to drill it into your head. The arrows tell you which piece to do that. Now, why do we do that? Why are we following these arrows? and flipping these pieces certain ways. Why does it make a difference which way I pick my pieces up? I mean, some people have told me, oh, I ignore those. I don't do it until the end and then I re-iron everything. But why is it important to do it now? Why does it save you time? Why is it more efficient? All right, row number 5. I need one of those. And one of these. Anyone remember? And this. And one of those. And that one. And yes, people have asked me, Tony, do you talk to yourself when you're not streaming and you're finding pieces? The answer is yes. Because, there we go. That is how that I make sure that I am doing the right thing, that I am sewing these in the right direction. All right, because you just don't pick them up and exactly, Nikki. That is the reason why we follow these arrows. All right, that's the white, that's the blue. So what Nikki is saying is, after we finish sewing these, so I'm just going to pick this whole row up and sew it in the machine. I can then immediately lay them out on my ironing pad over here and just iron it. All right. Oh, this is our first vertical piece. So we have a vertical piece. Our arrow goes to the right of our black and our blue. So it needs to go towards the blue. Okay? So this seam right here needs to go towards the blue because that's the way that the arrow goes. There we go. So by doing it this way, by right over left, because our arrow goes to the right, we're saving a step and not having to double check the way to iron it. And you always want to iron as you go. Do not wait to iron until the end, or else your block will not be as crisp and as nice as it could be. And yes, I know everyone talks to themselves, some of us more than others. In fact, I was talking to Burkana a few months ago. She was reading an article about what makes a good streamer. A good streamer is someone that has basically a stream of consciousness. If they're just constantly talking and, basically just like describing everything they do, they make a good streamer. Part of the things whenever people are starting out, they don't do is keep a running commentary. It is super, super important that you keep a running commentary. You should be able to go back into your videos and see at any point, if you stop and listen, you should hear yourself talk within a space of 5 seconds. Okay, this is row number 4. I'm on 4 now. All right, I've got this piece. If you don't, well, that's something that you need to work on. Because if there is nothing to entertain people, they are going to go away. All right, I've got that one. Oh, hold on, I'm starting to space my stuff out too much. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. All right, I've got that. So something that I actually used to do when I first started streaming is I would practice commentating my day. Hi, I'm coming down. Let's get this cup of coffee and let's make our coffee. Oh, the Keurig seems to be acting really well today. Hi, Keurig. How are you? And we're going to go over here and get some cereal. Today's cereal is brought to you by something or whatever. Let's see. Blue and black. This goes towards the black. The next one needs to go towards the white. Uh-oh. I only have this one. And it's going towards the black. But I need to go towards the white. So what do? Do I throw this away and I have to restart over and re-sew and iron all new pieces? Because this isn't the piece that I need? What do I do with this? This seam is going the wrong direction. Thank you, Marin. Thank you. It is. You re-iron it. All right, so let's re-iron this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to re-iron the wrong side first. Let's re-iron that wrong side, and then I'm going to flip it over and re-iron the correct side. So by re-iron, yeah, start over. I know, right? Oh, you would be surprised, Nikki. You would be surprised. All right, so now my seam goes towards the white. So I've got that. All right, next we've got our blue. Blue, 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 blue. And then here. And then here. There we go. And then towards the black. Perfect. And then the blue. Blue, blue, blue. Great. Row 4, my seams go to the left. So I'm going to pick up my left piece, flip it over the right, and pin it into place. You know what I forgot to mention earlier? For all of you that came in on those raids, I forgot to mention when we're going to be doing those giveaways. Because we do giveaways here. We do a ton of giveaways. Our giveaways are for our pixels, which of course are our in-stream currency. You get pixels one of 3 ways. Well, one of 4 ways. If you're a streamer, you come in with a raid. If you sub, if you win them in giveaways, or other special circumstances. For example, cosplay bingo this upcoming weekend. You can also trade your coins in for pixels. If you just hang out in my channel, if you spend time with me, you earn coins. And those coins can be used for free quilts, free patterns, or turned into pixels. Completely up to you. Alright, so we've got that one. This is still left over right. And pin it into place. Thank you very much, Nikki. I appreciate those. And we've got that. And that. Perfect. So, when are we doing these giveaways? So, all of these giveaways are going to be done a week from Thursday. This includes all the giveaways for this upcoming weekend as well at DragonCon. So we will be accruing giveaways. So we will, for anytime we get follows, anytime we get subs, anytime we get any of that stuff. I was just looking, I was like, wait, hold on. Do we have any more follows? No, okay. I like panicked there for a minute. I was making sure I thanked everyone. So for all that stuff, we're going to be doing those a week from Thursday. I can guarantee that evening stream is going to be a pretty big stream. Last year, oh gosh, what was our record? Nikki, were you there for that stream last year? I think we did something like 60 giveaways that stream. It was ridiculous. Like, I think I did as many giveaways. Like, I gave away enough. 76, that was it. I gave so many pixels away. If one person would have won all the giveaways, they would have had enough to get a quilt. That's how many freaking giveaways we did last year after DragonCon. So I predict it may possibly be crazy next Thursday. So next Thursday, we of course already have 3 giveaways just from the raids today. So if you're watching on YouTube, unfortunately you may have missed those giveaways, but I do them all the time on my Twitch stream. Feel free to come on over and be part of our community. All right, so we've got that. And then we've got a green. Guys, look, Asgot's green. Asgot's green. I'm doing the green. All right, that. All right, so this is towards the green, so we need to go towards the blue. Uh-oh, I only have this one left, and it's towards the coral. Oh, I guess I gotta re-iron it. The camera doesn't like the green. No, it doesn't. It looks all washed out. It likes the other colors. That's weird. Okay, I'm looking outside. We may possibly be getting a thunderstorm soon. Just to warn you, if it was flickering to the camera, yes. If the power goes out, I don't think it's gonna happen, but if it goes out, I will be back as soon as it comes back on. All right, So we've got that. We've got this. And this. Hey, we haven't had any lonely little pieces except for the first row so far, for row number 9. I'm going to double check this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's it. Hey Ash, how are you today? All right, so row number 3, where seams are to the right. So I'm going to take this right piece, flip it over the left piece, and pin it into place. Pin it into place. Here we go. We're turning, turning. All right, and we've got that one. This is right over left, and pinning it into place. Perfect. Okay, right over left and pinning it into place. Thank you very much, Nikki. I appreciate that. And right over left and whoops, that kind of went all wonky. There we go. And pinning it into place. Perfect. Right over left. Now we only have 2 more rows. Remember, whenever we finish pinning all of our rows, we are going to take a small break to allow those people that are in classes to stretch and use the restroom, have a snack. And then when we come back, we will sew everything together. There we go. And then do that. And that. Perfect. All right, row number 2. Row number 2. I don't feel like stretching all the way over there, so I'm just going to lay it right here to make it easy for me. And then I'll move it up there after I pin it. Okay, so we've got that one there. And this one here. We've got this one here. I'm starting to run out of pieces. Running out of pieces is fun because running out of pieces means I'm almost done. And then here, and then, oh, this is a green and white. I need to go towards the green. So towards the green. There we go. And then black and white. And here is that. Oops. I need to iron this the opposite way. So in this case, my seam is pointing towards the white, so the next one I need to go up towards the blue and white. I can word. I can words. Perfect. Let's do it this way to make sure it's perfectly flat in there. All right. There we go. And then coral and light blue and light blue. All right, in this case, row number 2, seams go to the left. So I'm gonna take this left piece, flip it over the right piece and pin it into place. We're gonna pin those seams first and then pin the edges. Man, my mouth does not want to do the talking thing. Come on, mouth. Come on. All right, so let's go there. And there. And there. Let's go left over right. Words really are hard. And there. I still want to know who's the streamer that has the other words are hard. So I kind of want to sub to that. And left over right. It is continue? How have I not noticed that continue also has that? I have seen like her other emotes. How have I not noticed the words are hard one? Okay, I'm the worst. I am the absolute worst that I did not know that. In all seriousness. I am now labeled the worst. Okay. Okay. I know. I know. Honestly, I haven't been paying attention to emotes. I have been so busy with my exhibit that is launching in the end of October that I have not been paying attention to some of the things on Twitch I should be paying attention to. Okay, so we've got that one, and this one, and then that, and that, and that, and that. Guys, that's row number 1. That's row number 1. Okay, seams go to the right. So we want to take this right piece, flip it over that left piece, and pin it into place. What time is it? It is 2:47. Look at that. We are right on time, even with my mistake earlier. Because we normally, right over left, we normally take our 10 to 15 minute break around 3 o'clock on Mondays. So yeah, we are fantastic. And of course we got a little bit of a late start because I was having issues with the microphone. There we go. And then right over left. And pin it into place. Perfect. Okay. And there is our row number 1. So, what does that mean? That means, look, we have all of our rows laid out. Everything is laid out and ready to go. So, you should have a few pieces left over. That is perfectly fine to have a few of these pieces left over, because remember, we cut them in sets. We cut them in groups of 2. So you're gonna have these left over. So just set them aside, and we're gonna use them later on whenever we make our bonus quilt with all the scraps. I'm excited for that. I'm very excited for that. All right, so for right now, let's take a break. Let's go watch some bloopers. Please, if you are watching at home, even if you're crafting along, if you're not even doing this, if you're just hanging out, please take a break. Stand up, stretch, use the restroom, make sure you have water. Water is important. And when we get back from, and you're also going to get some bloopers, and when we get back, we're going to start sewing and get our block assembled. Very excited. Okay, so I shall return. Don't go anywhere. All right, you guys ready to get back to it? And I realized I just drank all my water. So I'm gonna have to go find another water. I drank my whole water during the break. You totally couldn't see it, but I got it in. I got it in over there. So yes, all right, everyone stand and stretch. All right, any questions? Any questions? Oh, the wrong one, dang it, sorry. Wrong one, hail hydrate, yes, hail hydrate. Any questions, concerns, anything? Yeah, of course I drank it all right. Questions, concerns about the quilt along? Everyone ready to start sewing? Ready to start sewing it all together? I'm super excited. Okay, what we're gonna be doing is I moved all of the groups of the pinned together stuff from the left, and all I did was move it towards me. So this way I can easily show you whenever I reach over and I grab it and I sew it. So all I'm doing during this step, oh, that you got it in the basket? Woman. I will take a picture and send it to you. Don't tell me, don't tell people that you don't believe. Notice how I'm not going over there. I am putting this picture in my Discord to prove that I did this thing. Because telling the truth is important. All right, pictures. It is in pictures on Discord. I got it in. Call me. Say I don't do. Go look at this quilt. I got it in. Alright, so back to sewing. Back to sewing. All I'm going to be doing is reaching across, grabbing the groups, and then sewing them, and then putting them back. And this is what's called the first pass. So whenever I go through and I sew groups, I sew them in passes. It is more efficient to do something all at once. So it's more efficient to do all your sewing at once, to do all of your ironing at once, to do all of your pinning at once. That's why we went through and did all the pinning first. And now I'm going to go through and do all of the sewing. 2, 3. Now, remember kids, do as I say, not as I do. Please do not sew over your pins. Sewing over your pins is a horrible, horrible habit that I do, that you are not supposed to do. Please do not sew over your pins. There's many, many reasons why you do not want to sew over your pins. Reason number 1, you could break your needle and poke yourself in the eye. That is not a good thing. We don't want anyone to be poked in the eye. Hey, Raider Chris, how are you? Raider Chris, by the way, guys, is going to be our mod on duty on Sunday for the cosplay bingo. So yes, you do not want to sew over your pins because number 1, your needle could break and it could go into your eye. We don't want anyone's eye to be hurt. The reason number 2, you do not want to sew over your pins, is it could throw your machine off for timing. So the timing is something that's very important to your sewing machine. If you throw the timing off, you could need additional repairs. You may have to take it into the shop. It is not a good thing. You do not want to do that because it could cost you money. Now, I don't care about those things. I really don't. That's why I continue to sew over my pins. Because if I damage this machine, if I throw the timing off, I will just use another machine. I actually own 10 of these because they are lightweight travel machines and they're easy to use and they're cheap. So whenever they go on sale for super cheap, I buy a couple of them and I hold on to them. Just so whenever I break one, I can just grab another one and then use it for parts. And I have never, ever gotten hit in the eye with a needle. So I use Schmetz Chrome needles. Schmetz Chrome is a little bit better needle. I don't know if you can get them in your big box stores. I know your local quilt and sewing stores carry them. I do not know if the Chromes are available in big box stores or not. But the Chromes, yep, right there. The Schmetz Chrome are a better needle. They actually are less likely to break. They slide better into the fabric. And if you are doing applique, they gunk up less. So they are fantastic. They are absolutely fantastic. I love these needles. And they're less likely to break. So if you do hit your pins, it's less likely. I also have been hit in the eye before, but not by a needle. I was hit in the eye about a week and a half ago by a staple. I was removing staples from some papers, and sure enough, this one staple, as I was removing it, broke and hit me in the eye. Like, what are the freaking chances? I have never been hit in the eye with a needle, and I sew over my pins, but I've been hit in the eye with a freaking staple. Like, seriously. Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Luckily, it caused no damage. And this first pass of sewing all of these, I know, I can't have nice things. I know. This first pass of sewing all of these pieces is the longest. So it actually will take the most time for sewing them. After here, it gets cut in half every single time. So this is the longest step of the actual sewing part, is what we're doing right now. I think the longest step overall for a lot of the later blocks is the laying out of the pieces. Normally cutting all the pieces is the longest step, but for the later blocks, most of the stuff is already cut, as we found out today. And don't forget, what I'm doing right now is called chaining. So I have something constantly in my sewing machine at all times, and it speeds it up so that I am able to actually do this. Because I am a speed quilter. I am able to get stuff done within a certain period of time. And a lot of that is because of my patterns. I also, once a month, do what's called a mini quilt, where I create mini quilts start to finish in about 2 hours, and then I give it away to stream. Thank you very much, Nikki. I appreciate that. Hi, Maddie. How are you today? All right. Let's do this. 3 more to sew after we do this one. And this is, I forgot to mention, this is the last stream I'll be doing at Tomorrow's Treasures, because there's no stream next week. And then the week after, I will be back home again in London, Ontario. So blocks number 12 and the assembly for all of our blocks are going to be done in my home studio in Canada. So no more Tomorrow's Treasures after today. Go. 2 more after this. What's interesting is I've said this for the past couple of weeks. For the first couple of weeks that we did the quilt along, there was all sorts of questions about how to do this part or how to do this part or wait, what are you doing there?
Quiltoni. Your taste must be exquisite.
I can't read from all the way over there. Stargazer Rose, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh wait, did I miss another one? No, okay. I got everything else. Good. We had all sorts of questions a bit ago, for the first few weeks of the quilt along. All sorts of questions about quilting, sewing, pattern, nested seams, everything else. But all my patterns are the same. They're the exact same. So all it is a matter of, well, what pieces are you cutting, what colors do you need, and how are you laying it out? That's the only differences between all the patterns. So once people know what they're doing, no one has questions anymore. And it seems like these later streams, we're not getting a lot of questions. But that's perfectly fine. We can just chat then. But then, of course, I have to sit and talk to myself. What's new? I do this all day, every day, whether I'm streaming or not. Fantastic. And there. One more, and we are finished with the longest part of sewing everything together. Oh, you know what? I should move my directions down to step 6. There we go. I don't have the row numbers, but I can see which way they're going. Oh, wait, nope. I don't want to do that. I still want step number 4. Because I do want to see that. I want to see the row numbers. All right. Last but not least, our last one we're doing. That was when I hit the pin, but it didn't break the needle, it didn't even dent it, didn't do anything at all. But I had to kind of help it through. And that's why my hand is on this side of the sewing machine, not to pull the fabric. Whenever you're using a sewing machine, do not push fabric. Do not pull it through. All I'm doing is I'm gently guiding so that if it does hit the pin, it doesn't get stuck in the machine and it keeps it going. So that's important. Keep it going. All right. Let's do this. Oh, I remember what I was going to ask you guys. So, opinion time. DragonCon cosplay bingo this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 1 to 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Live from my booth at DragonCon. Do we play music? Do you want to have music on in the background, or do you want to actually just hear all of the sounds of the convention? I have never played music in the background before, but we could totally do it. I don't mind. We can totally do it at DragonCon. What do you think? Hey, Nikki, you want to make a poll? And then we can put the poll in Discord and ask people that aren't in stream as well. Oh, look at that. Hold on. Let's see if I can show you this pin. That is really a funky pin. That is all funky. It's like all over the place. It's like bent in 3 places. Yeah, I got that pin good. I got that pin really, really good. All right. So this is that one. So now I'm going to take these and I'm going to shift them back over. Let's shift everything back over. Shift it over. Shift it over. Fantastic. Okay, now let's iron everything. I'm playing with the steam, trying to get the steam going. Maybe I gotta put in the 2. I still can't seem to get the steam going because I checked it during break and I still have water in the area. It doesn't look like the water's coming through. So I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing. Let's turn this so it's out of the way. I'm going to be laying... Uh-oh. I've got to make sure I could do this the right way. Yes, okay. I'm going to be laying these down because remember, we kept them a certain direction. So all I have to do is lay them down and iron them, and then they're good to go. So when I iron them, I'm going to first lock those seams in. So we're locking these seams in. And then ironing it up. All right, I think I'm getting sneaky steam. Because it's ironing. I don't like holding the button though. I don't like holding that button. That's the only thing I don't like. I like to have the steam on no matter. I know, right? Alright, so I'm going to have to message Eliso and ask them about that. And be like, hey, teach me about the steam. Like, how's it supposed to be working here? Okay, so to the right. So these seams now need to go to the right. So I'm going to take this. Oh, you know what? I got to do it the other way. I'm going to lay these out to make sure this one needs ironed a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'll use my regular iron for this. I don't think that the baby iron just has enough steam. I know, right, Raider Chris? So I don't know if the baby iron has enough steam for my purposes. I think I'd still rather lug around my big old regular Oliso in order to make sure I've got good steam. Okay, so in this case, seams go to the right. So I'm picking up the right and over the left and pinning it into place. But that's why we tried it, right? And I may be doing the steam wrong. I will have this iron with me at Dragon Con. So if you're going to Dragon Con and you want to play with my brand new iron, you are more than welcome to come and play with it. And if we can figure out the steam together, fantastic. All right, row number 8. First thing I want to do is lock those seams. And then iron it up. Oops. Yeah, so I actually used to have a yellow regular Oliso iron. And then whenever I got the purple one, Oliso sent me a purple iron. So the yellow one that I had years ago, I actually purchased myself. And then Oliso sent me the purple one. They actually sent it to me to use at Quilt Market in Portland a year and a half ago when I had Fairy Wings as a guest there. And I was like, well, I like the purple one, so I'm going to use that one instead. So we renamed that one. Not yet, Rosalind. We haven't named the pink one yet. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, because we still have the purple one. But the pink one has a lot more steam. It's a lot better for steam. Oh my gosh. It keeps sucking up my fabric and wanting to take it with it. Okay. There we go. This is row number 8, so it's to the left. So let's lay our pieces out to the left. And let's make sure that I didn't do anything wrong. Nope, everything's good. So left over right and pinning it into place. So whenever I got the purple one, we decided to name that Megatron. And we retired Bumblebee, and I gave Bumblebee to Nicole, my business partner. Oh, you know what? I forgot an important thing. You know what? It doesn't matter because we included that one. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go left to the right. Now, in this case, this is my very first one where I have 2 seams lining up. So I have 2 seams lining up. So I want to make sure that that is nested together, that is put together as much as possible. I think that was my mom's renamed Energizer Bunny, yes. My mom's pink one? Yes, I think that was last week we named that Energizer Bunny. So maybe that's what we should name mine, is Energizer Bunny. There we go. All right, let's turn this heat. I actually turned the heat down and it's not ironing as nicely. I thought maybe that would help it with the steam. There we go. Ah, stop. There we go. Oh my gosh, I don't know why my fabric keeps getting picked up and taken along with me. I'm having issues. I'm having issues, people. There we go. Yeah, I can't, the steam is just not working for me. I don't know how to get it to work. Am I not pushing a button right? Should I? Because the water is still full. It has not been using water, it hasn't not been using the steam at all. Yeah, I don't know. No, it's not. PG Stream is not steamy. I just cannot seem to get the steam working. And it keeps wanting to take my fabric. I mean, I love this iron. You saw when I was using this on stream yesterday morning for the the bling, how nice it worked. But I don't know. All right, let's go backwards now. 5, 6, and this is going to the right. So let's make sure that my pieces are all there. Yes, 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 perfect. Okay, so this is going to the right. So right over left and pinning it into place. I know, right? It's trying to numb my fiber and it's not giving me any steam action. It's like, come on. You know what? I should probably read the directions. That probably may answer my questions. But I'm the kind of person I like to figure things out, right? I like to figure this stuff out. I mean, let's be honest. Who actually reads directions? Right? Like, it's an iron. I know how irons work. Apparently, no I don't. Apparently, no I don't. So, you know what? That's the first thing I'm going to do. Because remember, this is coming with me to Dragon Con. So, I have to stop at my parents' house to drop some things off and pick some things up. And stop taking the fabric. I will go and find the directions and bring them with me. I know, right, Raider Chris? Like, directions? What are directions? See, and I'm having all sorts of issues too because I'm not getting steam. Now, if I never use steam on this iron, that's fine. I know that. I know I'm not going to use steam. But it's supposed to have steam. There we go. Oh my gosh. Stop. Okay, this is row number 6 to the left. That's what I thought. I'm missing one. Oh my gosh. Whoops. It picked it up and put it underneath. That way. Yes, that way. That way. All right, there we go. So this is 6. This is to the left. So, ooh, do I want to leave that one here? Nah, I'm just going to do them all. Baby iron hasn't unlocked steam. I know, right? Oh, thank you. Thanks, Nikki. I am so not used to having to put it on the pad. No, Minion Mama, there is because you have that overlay, there's no stickiness on there at all. The reason why it is picking up the fabric is because it has been on such a long time and the steam is not working. It is actually picking up a little bit of static cling. That's why it's picking up the fabric. It is not sticky at all. The gemstones from Rhinestone Genie do not leave any residue at all. At all. Okay, so let's lock in our seams. I like how all the Stream Elements things popped at once. I have them on different timers, but they all seem to have popped at once. I think I just need to go slow. The trials and tribulations of new irons. Okay, you know what? I am not going to do this anymore. I'm done. Because remember, this is why I don't get paid by products. Because I'm honest. I am always 100% honest with my stuff. Alright, is this the one that gets the steam? Yes. Alright. Let's get a new iron. Alright. You are going to sit there. You are going to sit here. Let's get you some... Let's get you... some stuff in here. No, it was perfect for the rhinestone genie. Like, and remember when I first got it, I was not expecting it to have steam at all. Like, I was not expecting steam, but I got my hopes up because I saw steam. So as of right now, let's see. Yes, steam on. And all the way up. Fantastic. Oh, yeah. Look how fast this little iron is. All right. Oh, much better with the steam. See how much... Oh, wait. I gotta flip it back over so you can see this. See how much more better this is? See how fast this is? Just like that. There we go. That's what steam's supposed to be. Okay. And this is row number 98765. Oh, I messed this all the way up. Okay. All right. So 5 goes to the right. 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 Here, let me re-iron this one. There we go. To the right. See, now I'm all thrown off. But that's okay. That's okay. And then there. Perfect. Okay, so this is to the right. So I'm going to take my right over left and pin it into place. And now... And let's take this iron and set this aside. And I can move this iron down. I just gotta remember to actually pick it up and put it like an actual iron. Because I'm not used to that, because I only ever use Olisos. Right over left and pin it into place. Oh, I was worried with the setback. It was going to be like 4:30. I was worried that I was like super late. Nope, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, right over left and pin it into place. There we go. Don't touch the iron, Tony. Because it is sticking up and you have the possibility of touching it. That's another reason why I don't like regular irons, because I'm very accident prone. So if it's sticking up like that, I am very likely to touch it. So I have to be actively conscious not to touch it. Oh yeah, so much faster. See, I bet there's a setting that I'm missing. And I bet if I would have read the directions, I totally would have gotten it. And I always suggest for these patterns, use steam. Definitely use steam. Okay. All right, and this is to the left. To the left. There we go. Perfect. All right. Any questions on anything that's going on? Anything happening in the world, sewing or quilting related you want to talk about? Let's see, to the left. So left over right and pinning it into place. It looks like row number 4, this row, is gonna need an extra pass. I'm gonna need some more sewing on this row only. Well, maybe row 3 too. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, left over right. Perfect. And then we got a lonely little piece. That's perfectly fine. We're just going to move that on over. All right, look how much faster we're moving now. 2, 3. Nope, this one doesn't need an extra pass. Now, I used to not lock in my seams. I used to just start ironing until I realized that by locking in the seams, you're actually preventing the fabric from stretching and warping as you iron it. So locking these seams in is a good step that you definitely want to do. There we go. All right, row number 3 is to the right. Now, you're still not going to be able to see the picture yet. It's still kind of up in the air what this is. It's just a bunch of squares all kind of being sewn together. All right, so right over left. Seams go to the right, so right over left. Oops, there's a little pin there. Right over left, and pin it into place. There we go, right over left. There we go, and here is row number 2. Row number 2. There we are, and let's lock our seams. And iron. And this is going to be row number 2, so our seams are going to go to the left. There we go. So to the left. Let's make sure. Yep, that worried me that those blacks were on opposites. So I was like, uh-oh, is that correct? No, it's correct. There we go. And this is to the left, so left over right, and pinning it into place. Left over right, and pinning it into place. Did everyone fall asleep out in Twitch land? I know, it's perfectly okay. You're either quilting and sewing and you don't want to talk, or you are crafting or doing something else and you are just listening to the horrid sound of my voice. All right, this is row number 1, so it's our last one. Let's lock it into place. There is no steam button. So at Raider Chris, it's different. You can't ask people about this iron. This is a prototype. So this is a brand new mini iron that's not like any other mini iron on the market. You cannot get it into your hands yet. You can order it and they will be shipping soon, but I have one of the first ones. So you can't ask people how it works because no one else has it. That's why we're trying to figure it out, right? Oh, wait, wrong one. Sorry. No, wait, that one. All these things. Yes. Right over left, left over right. Yes. So, no, that may be true for other irons, and I know how irons work. That's why it was frustrating me that I couldn't get the iron, I couldn't get that one to work. Yeah, make sure you tell your friend again. Sorry, but it's the Oliso mini iron, and unless they have that specific iron, which I don't think they do because I don't believe people have it yet. Yeah. So like I said, I just need to read the instructions. I need to do something I have never done before, and that is read instructions for an iron. But that's fine. But the regular iron itself is amazing. It's just a matter of figuring out that steam option. All right, so we have everything all laid out. I'm going to move that over here. And let's do this. So now I'm going to shift these down. Let's shift everything down. That way it's easy for me to grab as I'm sewing it. Oops. Aaron's pin! Aaron's pin! Why is there an Aaron's pin? There we go. Fantastic. Awesome. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to do the same exact thing I did before. I'm going to grab each stack by the row and then sew it. There we go. Now, Raider Chris, I appreciate you trying to help. But unfortunately, this isn't something, unless someone can find the actual directions, that they could help with at this moment. And I have already unplugged it, so we're done with it for this stream. There we go. Oh, I need my pins. They're all the way over there. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Man, having to get up and go get them. That is one of the nice things about using a quilting studio space. They've got like 5 irons back there. I can just grab one. I mean, I forgot my iron, what, 2 or 3 weeks ago? The first or second time that I was in here. And I was like, oh hey, I'll just use one of these irons. Now, I'm not using my purple thing, my separator, because so far I've only had like 2 things in here. Oh, that one's got 3, so I'll use the purple thing for that. If it's only got 2 pieces, I've already got the scissors in my hand. I may as well just separate those 2 pieces. So I only use the purple thing if I have at least 3 or more pieces to separate. There we go. Yeah, like this one's got 2. I've already got scissors in my hand. I may as well just cut it. There we go. And remember, please don't sew over your pins. It is our second PSA of pins for the day. There we go. And then realizing that I'm spending way too much time without talking. So, what should we talk about while I do these last few rows? What would you like me to either explain or teach or talk about? Any suggestions? Because now we are just into the home stretch of sewing these things together. There we go. Oh, so it was in, oh, why? I didn't. No, that's actually a good question. I don't think I've answered that one before, Nikki. So, why these 12 blocks? In all honesty, the colors. So, Nicole is my business partner. Yes, okay. Nicole is the one that designs all of my quilt patterns. She designs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, just making sure I did this right. Sorry, I was confusing myself. So Nicole designs all of my patterns, and she designed these blocks. So whenever I gave her this idea, because we were deciding what to do for the next pattern, and she says, well, why don't we do something different? And I suggested the quilt-along, and she says, oh yeah, well that's easy. I can whip out these really quickly. That's not a problem at all. I can definitely whip out some ideas. She created 40 blocks. She actually has 40 blocks of ideas all together for this. And I said, well, we only need 12, so let's pick some. So, process of elimination. We only wanted, yeah, I know, right? We only wanted 2 of each game. So, the maximum of 2 of each game. So, for example, she did something like 10 Marios, 10 different Link ones. It was all based upon, you know, a couple of the games. So, we narrowed it down to what 2 we liked best of each design. And there's a couple we didn't even include at all, like Pac-Man and Space Invaders and things like that. So then what I did is, once we narrowed it down, I took a look at the colors. Yep, we really could. We really could just do a Mario-themed one. We really could just do a Zelda-themed one. We could do a Harry Potter-themed one. There's all sorts of ones that we could do. So what we did then is I took a look at the colors that are in each of the blocks. And any blocks that had only one color in them and it wasn't in anything else, I eliminated. With the exception of the words, brain. What did I name the block that is inspired by Metroid? I cannot brain right now. No, not the Puzzle Tetrads. Puzzle Tetrads has a ton of colors that are in the other ones. Oh, Alien Parasite. So my Alien Parasite is the only one with purple in it. Because we really wanted a purple. And I didn't want to do different shades. So I didn't want to do a whole bunch of different colors of blue, of different colors of green. So we took a look at the blocks and figured out which ones kind of have the same shade of blue, which ones have the same shade, the same hues. Oh yes, we did, and we included it in the Puzzle Tetrads. That's why. The original Puzzle Tetrads that she designed didn't have purple. She actually designed it a little bit differently, and we put purple in there because of the Alien Parasite. So, and then we had to make sure that we kept it to a decent number of colors, because if you have too many colors, okay, let's see, this is going to the left, then no one's going to want to do it, right? If you have too many colors in a quilt, no one's going to want to make it because it's going to be way too much work. So at that point, I then narrowed it down. Oh gosh, it was probably a good 50 or 60 hours of work that I did before I even started making the blocks. So then we had to figure out by 1,000 colors. Yes, exactly. So we wanted to make sure that we showcased everything. So then once I got all of the blocks down, well then I had to decide which fabric line we were going to use, because I had to make sure that all the colors were available in the fabric line. And that's the biggest problem that you have with blenders, is you don't have a lot of variety in colors. especially the bright, bold colors that you need for video games. Like, for years, I have been having problems finding the right fabrics that I need for video game quilts. And then I had a friend of mine that pointed out Northcott. And I was like, wait, what? I didn't even know about the Toscana line until this quilt along. So I went on their site and I looked at the Toscana line and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I was already working with Northcott for my exhibit that we have launching at Quilt Market. So I was like, you know what? Let me talk to them and see if they want to work with me on this. And sure enough, they said, yes, please. And they worked with me to do all the designs, to figure out all the fabrics, to do all the things. All right, this is to the left. There we go. So that is how we figured out the blocks. Yeah, what I'm doing right now, I've done it a few times. I was talking, so I didn't explain it. Whenever you have 3 pieces, and I've explained this a few times in previous blocks, when you have 3 pieces, what you want to do is take that left piece and that right piece and flip it over the center and use that center piece as your base. Yeah, we still have a ton of blocks. So this quilt along has been super successful. So we will probably do this again. I may not do it in this exact format where we have 1 a week. This has been a little bit too... This has been a lot of work in the middle of everything that we're doing. Okay, this is to the right. So if we do this again, we may do a block of the month kind of thing. There we go. And this is, let me flip these over. Whoops. Fold. There you go. But we have all sorts of possibilities of things that we can do. Are. Oh yeah, this is the one where I'm gonna have 4. Because I'm looking to the right with the little pieces I have over there. And I have a little piece for this row. So this one I'm gonna have to re-sew again. And I'm probably just gonna go ahead and re-sew it right now. Because it's the only one that has an additional pass. Okay, so this is row 4. This is to the left. There we go, perfect. All right, so left over right and pin it into place. Any other questions you can think about that you want to know about the quilt along or making patterns? Yeah, and I tell people all the time, if you want to see my spreadsheets for these things, I have so many spreadsheets for the math behind all of this. It was ridiculous. And then I had a large group of people that did all of my testing for me, just to make sure that it was good. So I had people testing, making the blocks, as well as all the math, and all the directions and all the explanations. Okay, and this is 3, so this is to the right. Oh, look what I did. That one didn't iron all the way. There we go. All right, to the right. No, it's easily fixed. All you gotta do is re-iron it. Oh, that's right. I still wanna, let me move this over here to remind me to sew that again. Once the quilt along is over, will you group all the patterns together into like one pattern book? Yes, Rosalind, I absolutely am going to. It probably will not be for a few months, just because we are going to have to write some additional instructions in the beginning for a combined pattern. So it will probably be released by the first of the year. There we go. 2, 3, and this is to the left. So yes, if you only picked up a few blocks, or if you did not join the quilt along until later on, and you did not get any of the patterns, you can buy it as a group. Now, once I release it as a set of all 12 patterns, you will not be able to buy them individually anymore. So if there's a specific block that you only just want that block, maybe 1 or 2 blocks, the price will probably be between $15 and $22 for all of it. So yes, it's definitely a savings. Right now, if you were to buy all 12 blocks individually, it costs you $36. So it's going to save you money to get them all. Yes, I agree. I agree there'd be some cute pillows. But let's say if you only wanted to make a Mario Mega Man quilt, and you only want to purchase the Plumber Hero and Mega Android blocks, well, that's $6. That's cheaper. So the blocks will only be available until that combined pattern is available. So if you only want a few blocks, you've got to purchase those by the first of the year, because then they will not be available anymore. You won't have all the option. Yeah, you'll have all the blocks, but you won't have the option to purchase just those blocks. All right, let's sew this one. And we are almost to the point of my favorite part of the quilts. We are almost to starting to assemble the rows. That is my favorite part of the quilt, is whenever I start assembling the rows, because that is when you actually can start seeing it come together. You can actually start to see the picture. Nice. That's awesome, Rosalind. Speaking of Rosalind, how was your trip to Ireland? There we are, and this is row number 4, so it goes to the left. Let's make sure that that is correct. It is. All right, now we're going to group things up. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you had a great time. That is fantastic. Okay, so let me go back to this one and let me group these up. So what I'm going to do at this point is group these. So we're going to take these and I'm going to put them in groups of 2. If there is one that has pins on just the one side and one that has pins on both sides, the both sides is going to go on top, and you'll see why in a moment. But I'm grouping everything up. Oh, that's got both sides. Now, the very top one is all by itself. Remember how we talked earlier, it is perfectly okay to have one all by itself. All right, so everything else is grouped up. So we have 4 groups of 2 and then 1 by itself. So now I'm going to take these and I'm going to move them over and slide them over here. Just like that. Okay? So then now, as you see, I have them slid all right there. And let's move this down to number 6. Seriously. Seriously. I'm actually surprised it didn't go up before now. Because remember, we're using a different mic than we have been using. And I'm really surprised it didn't go up before now. Okay, I'll explain it again the next one. I know, right? And I'm not unplugging and plugging anything back in. All I'm doing is selecting a different mic and going back to that mic. Alright, so what we're doing, whenever you want to sew it on both sides, what you want to do is sew one side and then whenever it's free again, you want to trim it, turn the whole thing around, and sew the other side. Now, oh, Hell Hydrate, thank you. Now, you think that would be, you know, that people would figure that out. You'd be surprised how many people tell me, well, how am I supposed to sew both sides? It only can go in on the one side. Cut it and put it around. Alright, so let's trim this and take my pins out because I do a horrible thing and I sew over my pins. I have no water to drink, I drink it all. Nope, nope, no water, but that's okay, that's okay. I shall get water when I am finished. Alright, so now I'm going to take this is my row number 1, okay, and I'm going to set it right here, okay. All I'm doing is replacing my rows, right? There we are. Let's free those two, and then do this one. Let's make sure I sewed both sides, because sometimes I forget that. Yes, okay. Sometimes I forget to sew both sides whenever I have a 3. Because the next step is sewing the rows together. Which is my favorite step. My favorite step, because you can see what's going on. Taking the pins out. No, it was Hell Hydrates. Thank you very much. Hydrates. Because we want water. Water is life. Okay, and then next, here is the 3rd group. No, the 4th group. I'm freeing the 3rd group. Thank you very much for picking up that pattern. I appreciate it. That's what that cha-ching was. I mean, somebody just picked up something from my store. Alright, that one's good. Yes, that one is good. Let's free these two. No, I know what that is. It's a Marvel reference. Hydra is part of the Marvel universe. I know exactly what that is, but we don't say that here. We say Hail Hydrate. There we go, and let's free this one. Now, we are going to leave, oh, no, I did it, okay, good. We're going to leave this last one in here, okay? So this last one is in here. Yeah, because water is good for you. Seriously, it is. Water is life. So we're not going to take this one out. We're actually going to use that as our scrap piece because we want to combine it with something else. Okay, so now at this point, we're going to start over here. I'm going to iron these, and we're going to sew them into, or pin them. So let's go ahead and lay this out here. Now I can tell that I am putting it in the right direction if my seams point down. So if my seams point down, I know I am going in the right direction. And then now I'm going to take my whole strip and sew it and iron it. I totally just said sew it. Okay, take my whole strip and iron. There we go. Alright, whoops. I almost left that down. That's not good. All right, so now we're gonna take this and lay that there. This one seems to go to the left. There's our first 2 rows. I'm gonna take my bottom row, flip it up, and we're gonna pin it into place. So I'm gonna search for the first set of seams that match up, which is right there. So that's the first time I get 2 seams that match up and I put a pin in there. And then I'm gonna go back and put pins everywhere I see a seam, whether it's on the top or it's on the bottom. I wanna make sure I go back and put pins in there, because when I'm sewing it, I do not want those seams to flip up and cause extra bulk. So I'm looking out for future Tony when she does the actual quilting. So I want to make sure these seams stay nice and flat. There we go. Perfect. So there's my first row. So I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to go backwards. So I'm going to put this on the closest one. So it's actually just right here. And then everything else, in fact, let me show you on this camera. So I'm putting this right here, okay? And then everything else is going to go there. This last one is going to be my first one, because that last one is getting combined with that one. So I'm putting them in the opposite order than I put these combined strips. Okay, so let's do that one. And then there. Oops. Oops. I didn't see that one. There we are. And then iron it this way. Perfect. Whoops, oops. Beautiful. All right, numbers 9, 8, 7, and 6. 7 and 6. All right, so this one, nope, goes this way.
You have just followed Quilt Tony.
And this one goes this way.
Exquisite.
That is Sita. Thank you so much for that follow. I super appreciate it. All right, so this one, my seams are going to the right. This one, my seams are going to the left. So I'm going to take this bottom one. Yep, look at that. Look at that, how that lines up. I'm going to take this bottom one, flip it up, and let's find where our seams line up. And we're going to put a pin in that. And then we're going to go back and find those extra seams everywhere and put pins in them. Perfect. And there's a group. And we're going to go back and put a pin into this one. So the most important, yeah, it's a duck belly. The most important ones to pin first are the ones where you have 2 lined up and you're nesting that seam. Now, in this case, there's no seams in here. So I'm going to put a pin in the center because it's just too big of a space to not have a pin there. Now, I'm moving my top and my bottom fabric around to force those 2 fabrics to line up. You always want to make sure those fabrics line up. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take this, I'm going to set it aside on the other side. So I have it right here. So I just put this one right here. Oh, here I have it, face it that way. So this is the one I just did, closer to the machine than the first one. Okay, next. Remember, my seams pointing down tells me that I've got them laid out correctly. There we go. Perfect. All right. This one and this one. All right. I think that goes that way. So this has got to go this way. Yep, that looks right to me. There's some wings. We've got some wings. All right. Take our bottom. Let's flip it up and pin it into place. Uh-oh. This one right here did not get ironed properly. So let's fix this. There we go. We always want to make sure it is ironed properly. There we go. That's better. It's more better, but it's not perfect. But it's okay as long as I can pin this down so it's going to be sewn down in a correct way. There we are. Alright, and then pinning. Alright, and then we have one more set of... Oops. Come on, give me instructions. Give me my instructions. There we are. Perfect. Alright, and we have one more set of rows to sew together. And then, well, pin together. Words. Words are things that I can say and hopefully communicate what I mean. So I have one more set of rows to pin together, and then I can start sewing. All right, let's lay that down on the opposite side, closest to the sewing machine. Our last set. There we go. Beautiful. It is. It's a very Monday. It's a very Monday-y Monday today. Today's a very, very Monday-y Monday. All right, and then this is to the right, and we have a duck face. Look at that duck face. All right, let's take this. Let's pop this up. Oh, I got another wonky. I have two more wonky ones. Come on. Iron and go the right way. Oh, I see what my problem is. I'm out of water. There we go. Perfect. I needed more steam, Captain. That was my problem. There we go. Oh, yeah. More steam. More steam! Steam! Hey, Zarania, how are you today? Perfect. Let's make sure. Yep, that's still good. We has to hydrate the iron. That's what I should do. Every time we see a hail hydrate, I should put more water back in the iron. I should drink myself and put more water back in the iron. I agree, but this is block number 11 of the quilt along. That means we only have 2 more streams of the quilt along. It is coming together. It is fantastic. We are almost done. We are assembling rows, which is my favorite part. It's funny. Some people were like, "Oh my gosh, these hunting blocks are amazing," and they're like gaga over them. And some people are like, "What game is that?" I'm like, yeah. Most younger people don't know what game this is, which is quite funny. I know, right? Because they weren't born when it came out, and unlike other ones, unlike other games that had, I know, right, Serenia? Unlike other games that that play later on down the road, they've never done a Duck Hunt remake, and because of the gun, right? You had to have the gun with the Nintendo system in order to play it. So there hasn't been a lot of remake for it. Oh my gosh. Did they? Does anyone know if they actually remade it recently? I was just thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if they did a Duck Hunt game that was like a rhythm game? There's a horror spoof. Oh, I haven't seen it. I don't do anything horror. I'm not a horror person. It was a fan remake. Okay. So it's a VR game. Okay. Yes, I haven't seen anything. So, just like we did with whenever we were combining the initial rows, same thing here. We want to group them in groups of 2. So that first one that I showed, we're grouping with the one I left in the machine. These 2 are grouping together, and this one by itself. So we're actually leaving this one in the machine. There we go. Let's clear that. But how do you play it if you don't have the gun? The gun peripheral. That's what I don't get. I know, right, Serenia? I've said that a few times in the stream, how this is my favorite step. Because I can actually see it coming together. There we are. Alright, oops. Oops, I threw a pin. There we go. The Wiimotes. Oh. Oh my gosh. I derped on that one. Come on! Come on, Nikki. It's... yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of that. In all seriousness, I can't believe I didn't think of that. Oh my gosh. I know, it's Monday. That's my excuse. That's what I'm sticking to. That's what, yes. Okay, all right. So we've got that one. Let me switch camera angles. Let's iron this. There we are. And here is this one right here. Now, for this, what I want to do is we want to iron it any which way. At this point, whenever you are ironing your combined rows, it does not make a difference which direction you iron it. So everything into this point, it made a difference which way you ironed. It does not make a difference. You can iron your row up. You can iron your row down. You can even iron your seams open if you want. It is completely up to you. go. And there is my deck head. So I'm going to take this, flip it down, turn it around, and let's pin this row. Ooh, really? So I'm gonna sell it, yes. It depends on the pattern. So there's a lot of quilt patterns that will have you iron your seams open. And that is to prevent bulk on the back of your quilt. In the case of my patterns, you do not want to iron your seams open because that's the whole point of the pixelated pattern, is to get perfect points. If your seams are open, it does not add any benefit at all, because your seam is going this way and this way. If you iron them both open, you have the same exact bulk. So a lot of times you do it open if you have curved seams, diagonals, ones that really aren't lining up with other ones. But in the case of mine, I always suggest ironing it to one side. But some people are stuck and they really like to iron their seams open. So for those people, this is the step that they can do that. They can iron their seams open if they really want to. Oh, that's funny. Oh, and of course we have Bubble Bobble. Next week we have we are doing the Death Whale from Bubble Bobble. Next week, I'm sorry, in 2 weeks. I keep forgetting there's no stream next week, even though I've said it like 5 times. So in 2 weeks, when we do block number 12, it is the Death Whale that is inspired by Bubble Bobble. It is one of my favorite things in gaming in the entire world. I love Bubble Bobble. That game meant so much to me growing up. I played that to death. And it's funny, I actually was at a convention a few months ago, and there was a little boy that saw the picture of this quilt. And, oh, Zaranya. And he was talking about how he's playing that game with his father, but they can't seem to get the true ending. And they don't know why. Like, they did the trick of warping, because on one of the levels, I don't remember which level it is, you had to go through the door in order to get to the end for the true ending. And I asked him, and I said, well, are you playing it with your father at that point? He said, yes. But every time we beat it, it says it's still not the true ending. And I said, are you both still alive? And I kid you not, the dad looked at me and went, that's right. I forgot about that. Because for Bubble Bobble, in order to have the true ending, you had to have 2 players. Well, first you had to go through a door. And then you had to be in 2-player mode. And then you had to kill the final boss, and you both had to be alive. Well, this little boy was maybe 7, so he may not have the skills to stay alive. So what I told his dad is what I did for Jordan when she was young and we would play with her. I told him, when he dies the first time, do not let him come back in the game. Because remember, if somebody dies, you can use up those lives. Okay? So if he doesn't come back in the game right away, that means if the dad dies, he can continue to use those lives. And right before the dad does the killing blow on the boss, have the little boy revive. So don't hit start to come back into the game unless I'm gonna do that. I'm so gonna do that. Like all of these things that we figured out on our own before the internet when we were kids, right? Like I don't even remember how I figured that one out. I think it was like I stumbled on the door. Like I was always obsessed with getting all the special things. So I think we went through the door just like as we kind of like stumbled on it kind of thing. And then the true ending, whenever I figured that one out. I'm like, well, if you have 2 people, you gotta both be alive. But yeah, no. Bubble Bobble was one of my favorite games. Bubble Bobble and Dr. Mario. Do you know how upset I was on the new Dr. Mario game that came out? Because it's not Dr. Mario. Yes, we did. Oh, we did, Nikki. I did the same thing. Graph paper, right? Like you would do graph paper in the old Wizards and Warriors games where it looked like the same exact thing except you would go into a dead end. And you'd be like, come on! Or you'd try to go and find the inn again and you have to like, you're wandering all over. Yeah, no, you would take graph paper and you would sit and draw your own maps because you couldn't find things. Yeah, that was the best. That was the best. I loved doing that. I had so much fun as a child. Yeah, and the old school Zelda games. The old school Zelda games, making all those maps and finding the things. Oh, they were amazing. Hey guys. Guys. We're almost done. We are almost done. I am ironing the remaining 3 sections. So all I have to do at this point is sew these 3 sections together and then trim our blocks. It is super important that you trim your blocks. Why? Who wants to tell the class why you want to trim your blocks? Whenever I first started quilting, I never trimmed my blocks. I never ever trimmed them because I thought, I'm like, why would I trim them? I will just like sew a little bit of extra off and I'll just like fix that. That is one reason. Yes, it reduces bulk. And remember, we want to reduce bulk because whenever you actually go to quilt it, if you have a whole bunch of bulk, it will have problems with the actual quilting. And there is our duck. All right, so let's do these together. So that's the first reason. The second reason why you want to do it is for precision. If I have 12 blocks and they're all supposed to be 18 inches by 18 inches, if one of those blocks is actually 17.5 by 17.5, it is gonna throw my whole quilt off. So it is super important that you do it because your blocks, these blocks will range anywhere from 18 inches to 19 inches, which is why we are cutting it down to 18, because you want to make sure that you don't have any one block that's a lot bigger than the others or a lot smaller than the others. By making sure they're all the same size, it is going to make your life so much easier whenever we do the combining blocks. There we are. And we're going to take this one and fold this down. Perfect. And just like we did those rows, where we did remember the left and the right over the center? That's what I'm doing for here. I'm doing the bottom to the center and the top to the center. And because this is my last step, you notice I started in the center and I'm moving my way out with the pins. I'm making sure that center one lines up first. It's a technique I do now and then. It's when I'm not sure if my block is going to line up nicely. And I didn't know if this was going to line up nicely because I used two different types of irons. In that case, I always start from the center and work out. Here we go. Perfect. There we go. Great. And we've got this one. Now, don't forget, make sure you save all your scraps because we are going to have a very special stream in November. If you were not part of the quilt along, but you want to be part of that special stream in November where we're actually going to talk about using all these scraps and making a bonus quilt, in that case, you want to make sure that you stick around in the month of September. Because in the month of September, I am going to be streaming on Twitch one or two very special streams. I'm going to be streaming some very special streams where you could win one of my sets of scraps. So if you did not make this entire quilt, let's say if you only made a block or two, but you want to be part of that stream, I am going to be giving away my scraps. And I'm doing it in enough time so that they will get to you before that stream in November. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. And we're going to be giving away some of Jan's books, the Scraptastic Quilts, so that you will be able to participate in November. So keep your eyes and ears out for announcements for September. We're going to be doing a very special charity stream in September for a new charity that has asked me to be a part of their fundraising. And yeah, we're going to be doing some cool stuff. All right. This is it, guys. This is our last ironing step. We have sewn all of our rows together. So now I'm not only ironing the rows I just sewed, I'm making sure my entire quilt, my entire block is ironed all the way out. Yay, Sapphire! I like how you've been quiet because you've been sewing. Woohoo! Is anyone that is making the block, was anyone able to keep up with me? There's lots of things that I have because of the stripology ruler and because of how fast I am. I tend to go a little bit faster than everyone. But that's okay. If you weren't able to keep up, this is going on YouTube on Wednesday, so you'll be able to follow along. All right, let me close this down. I don't need my instructions anymore. Here is my block. Here we go. We've got it. Yay, Sapphire! All right. Now, we have our block. Let's square it up. So, I have my long straight edge and my rotary cutter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to center this between the 0 and the 18. In fact, you know what? Let me move this over. No, I don't want to touch it. Never mind. Let's do this. Let's move this over a touch. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be centering this between the 0 and the 18. Now, how do I know that this is perfectly lined up? I'm going to look at my seams on either end, and I'm going to line those up with some of these lines. Okay, so that's lined up there. let's line up another one. So I'm going to do it on average. There we go. Now I'm going to do the 18. Now this first cut is going to dictate all the rest of my cuts. Okay, so this first cut is the most important. So we have that first cut done. We're going to take our block and we're going to turn it all the way around. And we're going to line that first block up along the left. The rest of this doesn't make a difference. This has to be lined up along that 0. So if this lines up along the 0, we want to take and do this. And cut it along, oops, I went a little wonky. There we go. Cut it along the 18. And then now, same thing. Okay, Nikki, can you go, sorry, I know I'm distracting myself. Can you look at this person and see if they are PG. And message this person and find out if he will do PG for me. Thank you. Okay, sorry. We're figuring out where I'm taking you guys. We're figuring out where I'm going to take you at the end of the raid. At the end of the stream for a raid. Okay, all right, so we've got this one. So now what I'm doing is I'm lining it up along the top and along the bottom. I'm making sure everything is perfectly lined up. And then I'm going to center it between the 0 and the 18, just like I did those two. Yes, we are scheduled. Once we finish this block, we're done. I have a certain time frame I try to stick to, and we have hit it. All right, so let's trim this right here. We have been on for 4 hours. So let's go ahead and line this up right here. And we've got that side. Now, let's do this one. Actually, do this, ask the second one. If you haven't had a chance, ask that second one first because he will probably say yes. And let's do that. Perfect, all right. Yes, you do need to bring pants for Dragon Con, Lego. That is important. And now, guys, we have a block. We have a finished block. Look at that. We have a hunting duck. We have a hunting duck block. Look at that. We're done. That is 11 blocks under our belts. And I realize I never show you this step. Yes, okay. Do me a favor. Pop in, warn him, and tell him to stay PG. Just say, hey, Looney Loom Works, who we're going to go raid in a moment. Tony's coming, and she needs you to be PG for a bit. Because we're going to go raid somebody new. Alright, so I never show you this step. See how I'm laying everything here? This is how I store my blocks. And I fold up, I fold up, I fold in, and that's how I store my block. Guys, we are 11 blocks down. One more to go, and then assembly. And that's it. That's it, guys. All right, fantastic. So we are going to call it a stream. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for doing block 11 with us. Don't forget, if you are part of Twitch, I will be back on Friday, 1 to 5 p.m. live with Cosplay Bingo from Dragon Con. If you are in a store or if you're watching me on YouTube, I will be back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're taking a week off. Back in 2 weeks for block number 12 and then the assembly. So super, super excited. Thank you guys so much for being here. We are going to go raid an amazing, awesome person, Looney Loomworks, who is just absolutely amazing, and I love him. So give him some love. If you have not yet followed him, please shoot him a follow. He is a Fiverr artist that does lots of weaving and looming obviously, and he's fantastic. Please copy those raid calls. Let's go do it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here.